Welcome back to the channel. I just want to do a little channel update. It's been a while since I posted. I hinted that there was some big news, and to be honest, it is big news, but it didn't quite go exactly the way we planned. I mean, what in life really does. But we recently, about 2 months almost exactly ago, we bought about 10 1/4 acres here in Montana. And coming from East Coast, being an East Coast guy originally, that sounds like a lot, and it is a lot. But you know, if you've never been to the West and you come out West, you realize that, wow, 10 is just getting started. And where we live, it's a little pricey, but 10 for definitely for right now and probably for the foreseeable future is more than enough, and we're super thankful. We've this property is a fantastic property. We got 10 wooded acres in a good neighborhood. We have a pond. We got 2 little creeks, so there's fresh water. You know, I really can't ask for more. It's secluded, it's quiet. It's rush hour now, so you can kind of hear some of the main road traffic, which is maybe a mile east of here. I mean, we love it, but like I said, it didn't quite go as planned. You know, we bought this house. We think we got an okay price for it, especially considering the land. But as we moved in, we realized there was a lot more unfinished with it than we expected, and some of the fit and finish of the stuff that is here really wasn't to our taste or liking, and the layout is just funny. But I can't complain too much, other than the fact that it's just, to be honest with you, it was frustrating to spend pretty much towards the top of our budget and then still have a lot of work to do. But I think part of that is in our area. You know, in order to get like a normal, quote-unquote, really nice house and a chunk of land, even this size, you got to spend a crazy amount of money. So it was a bit of a shock there. You know, am I in love with the house? Not at all. Am I glad that we have it right now and we're not paying rent and we've got 10? This is just, you know, just the view where I'm standing right now. Acres, yeah, it's literally a dream come true. But you know, again, to be honest, the weight of, you know, there's no shop. I've got a little wood shop, which is awesome, but I don't have any place to put the cars in to put up. I want to get a lift. You know, that's obviously a dream. But even, you know, I got to rotate the tires in the truck, and it's been snowing and raining all week, and you know, I'm spoiled. I've had a garage for the past 4, 5, you know, yeah, about 4 or 5 years, and so going back to being in the dirt, I was a little frustrating. You know, I'd like to build a shop, and I could probably scrape the funds together to pour a foundation and start slowly putting up the walls this spring. But with everything else that's to get done in the house, and the fact that I don't like the house itself, it's kind of like, you know, do I really want to invest that kind of money in this property? And you know, I don't know that I'm going to see the full return on that when it comes time for asking price. But I don't want to make this video just a sob story, because it's not. We have a house that we're provided for. We've got everything. We got enough room for everybody. There's room to improve and expand. It's just, I'm just frustrated at some of the things I find that, you know, are like left undone, and some of the problems are starting to crop up. You know, it is what it is. So these past 2 months, I spent doing a lot of cleanup on the property. The people that lived here before were sweet, but pretty much they were hoarders. I'm still finding stuff. It just is what it is. So that's what I really been doing. I've been cleaning up. I'd rip up a whole bunch of smelly carpet. I put some blinds in the windows down here where my office is. I started getting the shop set up. But between work and church, and I have family and the holidays, it's like, you know, it's going a little bit slower than expected. So now that holidays are over and a lot of the cleanup is starting to get to a more manageable point, I'm going to focus on doing some more things inside. And I figured I'd vlog, and you know, if you're interested and you're watching. But maybe I'll give you a tour and that'll help explain everything here, but I gotta go grab another battery first. We just purchased about 10 and a quarter or 10.15, I think it's 10 and a quarter, I have to look at the sheet, but a little over 10 acres. I don't know if you can see all the way over there, but we got a little family of quail running up by the Woodshop. Yeah, you can't see. So that's one thing we got here, wildlife that is pretty good. We have some quail that live here. We got a big, what do they call it? Turkey. There's like a word for the family turkey, and I'm forgetting it right now. It's gonna come back to me later. I'll probably put it below here. Turkey, there's some deer. There's a big herd of moose that come through. So it's definitely full of wildlife. Previous owners said there's some bear and mountain lion, and I think bobcat and some others. A fox got in before we moved in and killed some of the chickens. Property line is over here. This is the eastern edge of the property. Eastern edge of the property is on the other side of the hill, kind of where that power line is. I don't know if you can see it on the video, but there's power line. And we're kind of on the northeast area of the property. And then the property runs south to the pond. Encompasses pretty much most of the pond on the east side, except for, you know, I think like a foot. And then there's a property markers on that side of the pond, so we own most of the pond, but neighbors have water rights over there as well. That's fine, they're great. Property line's basically a big square, comes up here, runs along some part of that ridge over there, and goes back on the other side of this ravine. There's the two streams, and then there's a property line over there. You can see our view of one of the mountains over here, and then the property line comes back over here, back up behind. I don't know if you can see through, but you'll see it later. There's our neighbor's house is, I think, 300 yards that way, 400, 500, 300, I think 300 yards, yeah, that way. And then our property line is somewhere in their backyard area, down past to a couple feet beyond this kind of old beat up shed, and then down here past the driveway. So it's a good size. Definitely no pasture area. I mean, you could clear out a bunch of this and certainly fence it in, but that'd be a lot of money, and that's not what we're looking to do right now. We had considered, if we did stay here, put a fence in here, and then, you know, we could probably get a couple animals up here, maybe a horse would be nice, but you know, practically it'd be nice to have a cow or a couple head of cattle for beef or something else. But it's sort of an old shed over there, and then back there we've got a nicer, newer shed with the chicken coop and bunnies, and that's pretty big. I'll show you that in a bit. But this is the house. Again, you know, it is what it is. It started out as a modular a while back, but since then they put an entirely new roof on it, put a whole addition on over here. The deck, this is a new addition here. It's my office and den. This half of this quarter of the basement is unfinished. And that's kind of where they had an indoor shop, and I think the wood's kind of rotting in there, so I got to get all that out. That'll be fun. Got a master bedroom up there, living room, and kitchen on the other side. One of the kids' bedrooms on this side, another bedroom over there. I had to rip out all the carpet up there, and I'm still working on that. The deck, and then there's a bedroom down here in the basement, although it needs proper egress. On the other side, there's kind of a quarter or a half of that size. Maybe an eighth of the basement. Well, that's what you call a root cellar. They were going to put sliding doors here and put a new kitchen down here, but we're not going to do that. So I got to build like a retaining wall over here. House needs paint to match, needs to be cleaned. The windows are fine, but the UV coating is failing on this side and on that side, so they'll probably have to be replaced. It's just dirty. They used to have a fireplace coming out of there. Carpet down here smells. They had dogs, and even though it's new, it still smells, and I'm allergic. So I'll try and clean that again. If not, I'll have to replace all the carpet down here too, and I'm hoping to not do that because it's pretty new. And we're already spending all the money on the carpet upstairs. But you know, the house, it's not like I got a frame in the windows. There's no edge on the siding that's put up, so I got to do that. They're not, I don't mean to make them sound like a big deal, but there's just so many of them. And and I just don't know where it's going to come from the budget. And then even then, you know, it's like, it is what it is. It is what it is. So, you know, maybe we'll flip it in a year or two and move. But for now, I'm just most thankful for the property. I don't know that I could imagine living in a nice house right now and not having the property. So I think that's a good thing. Not having the space, not having the freedom to come out here. And I was shooting with the kids the other day, having the animals. So I don't know that I could have taken living in a neighborhood. So it just is what it is. It's just a lot of work. And there's only one of me. So, and the money is, there's only one of them too. So it is what it is. There's a nice view of the mountains to the east over there. I guess we'll just take a walk over this way. So this burn pile, they left and they were supposed to do, but now I gotta wait till March to do it. And this thing is gonna be visible from space, I think. So again, all this junk here, there was a bunch of material here I had to move. There was junk in the yard. There was junk in the house. It was just, I know one man's junk is another man's treasure, but it was quite a lot. You could stock the pond. There's an outlet, but that can be closed in. I just need to file some paperwork and then I can stock it. Great place for hiking and shooting and other stuff. I have some irrigation here that I believe is hooked up water-wise, but there's no pump down there, so I got to put a pump. But the power's run. There was a bunch of junk over here as well. You know, like an old trampoline, old swing set. They kind of offered to me, but I didn't really want it. This thing was full of junk and it's pretty much cleared out now. Although we do have some material here for fencing and stuff we'll probably use. But this is cleared out now and just use it for gardening storage right now. Hopefully in the spring we want to get a garden, you know, if we plan on staying here for a little while, get a garden going in this neighborhood. I'd like to paint this. It's really the first thing you see from this street, and when you pull up, it'd be nice if this was fresh coat of paint, something nice, maybe a red. But it's just like, you know, you look at the house and the windows don't match. Stuff is all mismatched. Some siding doesn't, you know, it'd be nicer if we just painted it all one and then trimmed in the windows, got everything just to match. And here's oh, there go the quail. Here's 5 of our chickens. 5 remaining ones. They're all named after Disney princesses. We didn't name them, but they've gotten to be real friendly. They like us. They give us some eggs, right? Right, sweetheart. And then we've got 3 bunnies in here, and we want to. Oh, there's the turkey right there. Let's go sneak up on them, and I'll talk back to you. What is this? It's gonna start with an F. Oh, rafter. That's it. A rafter of turkeys. But here's some of them. There's only 4 right here. Usually it's like 20 of them. So I don't know. Hey guys. Coming down here, but here's the edge of our property right here. And our property line is just the other side of this driveway. Some nice storage in here. Nice storage in here. I gotta put a light in here because there's no light. The ISO is gonna go crazy on the camera right now. I think they had chickens or animals in here at some point, or they plan to. So this kind of connects over to the chicken coop we're using for storage, and I think that that's perfect. I'm going to put a door in here. But as you can see, it's just a little shabby. The bunnies need some nicer enclosures. We need to clean up the grounds a little bit. But it's nice. It's nice to have chickens for once. Bunnies are real sweet, and the kids love the bunnies. I've got a nice big footprint here. Who's that? Hoping that's the neighbor's dog. Some big claws on there. Somebody's snipping around. That's real big. You tell me, is that a dog? Is that a wolf? Is that a bobcat? To look for some other sign. Some big prints right there. I'm hoping that's the neighbor's dog leaving the treats here. We have some apple trees in here now. I think that's a cherry tree right here. I don't remember. My wife would know. But you see, it's just a little shabby. It needs to be cleaned up. We already cleaned up a bunch of the junk that was in here. Fence is in pretty good shape, although some of the chickens were getting out of the bottom. But we're gonna fix that up. So I think it's got a lot of potential if it's if it's done right. That's the thing. It's gonna be a lot of work. I think we could clean it up. And I think the biggest problem for me is that I can clean it up a lot. I can do a lot of work, but like the inspector said, and you know, maybe I should have paid more attention, it just is what it is. You know, it's not going to be the house is still going to be the house. It might be a little bit nicer, but it's always going to be a weird layout. It's always going to be is what it is. But you know, we'll see how it goes. Definitely feeling a lot better now. We got a lot of stuff cleaned up, but it just, I think the hardest part just doesn't feel like home. Like Montana feels like home, where we live feels like home, but the house and the land, it's just, it doesn't feel like a long-term home. And that, I think that's the biggest bummer for us, is that we really thought this was going to be the long-term home, that when we moved this was going to be it, and maybe we were getting a little too hopeful. But we're enjoying it so far. We love having the own place. We love having neighbors who do, great neighbors. A nice fire pit right here. I kind of get the view to the pond. I don't know if I get the proximity to the house and the location. You almost feel like the fire pit would work better over there. I want to rip this DirecTV down and get rid of that wiring. I got to patch up a hole up there. I think there might be a little leak in the roof from the DirecTV satellite antenna, so I got to check that out in the spring. There's a couple roof tiles I got to fix when it's warmer. It's a new porch, but then it's all hardened. Not hardened. It's all solid plank, so water collects. So ideally, I have to fix that. You know, you got these gaps under the deck. I want to put some lattice. Got this wheelchair ramp, which is great if you need it, but thankfully we don't need it, and so we kind of want to put a stone walkway here. It gets super slick too. Same down here. Like, I don't know if you can see. This is like an enclosed porch. You need a new door in the enclosed porch. It's got a huge gap in it. It's a lousy door. There's just this huge gap right here, so I got to put lattice there as well. Again, not a big deal, but all these things they just keep adding up. And I know I'm the guy who signed the paper, so it is what it is. But you know, in the grand scheme of things, these are really kind of first world complaints and creature comfort complaints. So here, if I didn't show it, there's a nice little patio area down here. It's not like connected to the kitchen, so we'll see. I think it's nice to have the grill down here. Maybe a good place to grow, but it's a little bit of a walk. So how rude of me, I forgot to show you the shop. So I gotta take this hand truck up to the porch and the generator back in the shop. So I'll do that now and take you there. Go over here. I almost feel like over here would be a great place for the fire pit, you know, once I finish cleaning up all this junk. But you know, I got the fire pit maybe over here. You got this nice view of the woods and then the mountain. There's these 3 trees here, and I have to look from inside to point out which one. I don't know if it's the one with the birdhouse on it or if it's the next one over, but I want to knock one down. And my neighbor across the way is a tree feller, so he might be able to help me with that. But just so we can get a view of the mountain from inside the family area down there. From here, this is where we were shooting from. Table set up. Kids were shooting from over here. I was shooting from here. From here to this little clearing right over there is about 25 yards. Oh, right in front of it's about 25 yards. So it's great for that. What I want to do on the other side over here is finish cleaning up this stuff and get some sort of shooting scenario set up to shoot down here into the clearing and over here and then over against that hill over there, because I can probably get 75, 100 yards into this hillside over here, and then I've got this nice hill here and nobody for a while, so it'd be great to shoot in this direction as well. I mean, as you see, there was junk all here, all here, all here, all here, here. I'm not even gonna get over there. You can see there's still. Anyone want buckets? I got 5-gallon buckets until Kingdom Come, so that's actually what I came out here to do. But clean all those out. I gotta find a new place for these cinder blocks. I want to put in at least some sort of gate or door here to kind of close these in to make. I mean, you really don't have to worry about theft out here. People are nice and they don't steal, and we're all armed, so no one's gonna steal anything. It'd be nice to have that closed off if we're not at home for a period of time. This shop, it's great for woodworking and storage and doing little projects. Got a wood stove in it, but it's not finished. You know, again, I gotta close off the bottom a little bit. Needs siding, needs a roof. Thankfully there's some metal in the back I can use. It is plumbed, but the piping on the inside is broken, so I gotta fix that. Doing an ATV or something. I think I might hear the sweet sounds of a UPS truck with my bipod on it. If you guys are OGs of the channel, remember Timberwolf. He gave this to me a few years back, and I think it's finally found its perfect home out in the Woodshop. Got a nice real view out here. Kind of, that just looks on the shop, but on the storage in the back. Let's see if I can get the light on. So I got storage back there. This old wood stove, there's a little bit of a leak in the roof around where the pipe goes out, but that can be fixed. See, it's all kind of wet down here now from that. Yeah, it's all wet all over the top. That's something I gotta address too when I do the roof on this place. You can see I need shelves with all my storage and stuff going on. I just made a real cheap shelf over there the other day. But it'll work. Got enough room for some tools, move around, some workspace. Here's a sink. Feed's broken here, and the drain is broken there, so I'll have to probably do PEX on that. That's not a... It's leaking over here too, ain't it? Look. Where's it coming down from? I mean, this is all wet, so water's coming from somewhere. Oh man, I gotta find it. Right here, there's some water coming down, so that's probably from the tarps not covering the seam. But I've got a couple projects to do in here, clean up, just some shelves. But like I said, decent space to start, so could use some more lights in here as well, which I'll probably do. I'm not talking for a video. I'm just talking. It's a little dim in here right now, and not because I'm in here. But nice that we got the phone. The phone hooks up to the house, so I can actually do what's it called? Push to talk to my wife. I got this free Google for my Fi membership. So tunes. I don't mind if Big Brother's listening in here, although they are going to hear all the reports from the pew pew. Supposed to get sustained high winds on Saturday, and it's Thursday right now. So part of me is like, I want to clean up a little bit, but I don't know how much I can do. What I'd like to do is apparently there used to be a garage here, and it burned down from what I understand. So it's pretty level. I'd like to do, it's like a 25 by 30 or 25 by 40 or something like that, concrete pad here, and put in like an actual shop. It'd be nice to do some high ceilings and possibly get a lift in there. But again, with the house being what it is, making that kind of investment is, to be honest with you, not that bad. I'd rather kind of fix up the house, make it look nicer, flip it, and then see if I can't get more property, either with a shop or someplace I'd be happier investing all the money that a shop entails. Especially because I don't have that kind of money. You know, I'd be piecemeal together. I just got some scrap material out here from when I closed in this side. I did the top piece quick, so I'll probably want to redo that, but just wanted it closed in. Again, this is apparently enough metal for the roof. That'll be something I handle in the next couple of months, hopefully. And then here's some of that junk. Like, this is just here. You know, I cleaned this up. I brought these sticks they had laying around. I guess we saved them because they look nice. But just junk. And I had stuff on Craigslist for free. So people claim and cleared out a bunch of the stuff. This thing was, I mean, this whole area, I could roll in photos, was just full of junk. These steps aren't going anywhere, so I'm thinking about maybe painting them so they blend in a little more. And then I think it would be kind of nice to even use this, some sort of shooting barricade or shooting rest for targets down there. I'm thinking about getting a couple steel targets from down there. You know, getting more junk. I mean, I do need to add some gutters to the house, but you know, this ain't gonna cut it. I need more than that. There's plenty of scrap wood, but none of it I need, so I may put this more back up on Craigslist again. Someone's supposed to come back and get this stuff right here, but I don't know if you can see this post right here, but this is sort of the property line, kind of where the grass is. Just more junk, and now I gotta deal with this. Like, I gotta throw out TVs, but there's gonna be fees for that. There's all this. I gotta make more. You know, this is what is this, a jug full of animal blood, animal fat. And then this whole thing is just full of junk. Thankfully people came and cleared it out, otherwise it would have been, you know, easily several trips to the dump. But I mean, it's just, you know, there's just shingles here. It's just garbage. I put these boards up to kind of seal it in. As you can see, it's just full of just junk. And they weren't even here that long, and I don't know how they accumulate all this. But it's just an eyesore. It's embarrassing, and I hate a mess. So my biggest problem is just trying to get rid of the stuff right now. My son and I have been doing donuts over here when we come home from doing stuff in the truck. He loves it. He's 5. I'm gonna give a little bit more toward the property here. I'm not gonna do a full hike today because I want to actually get some stuff done. Nice clearing. The property goes further up this way and kind of on the other side of the hill here, kind of up over the hill, and then back there's the you're not gonna see from here, but the corner's back there. But I mean, it's nice for the kids to come out here and play. Oh yeah, I got definitely gonna come down here and shoot. Wondering where I'm gonna set up for shooting, and I think this is totally it, because a lot of this is hilly, so finding a place that's flat enough to do it's been kind of the issue. And the place that's flat over there is kind of marshy. I mean, this is sort of the greenest, doesn't look now, but this is sort of the greenest I've seen out here due to what's in this pipe? Is this just a piece of pipeline here? Due to the streams. It's like the foliage is totally different. Trying to see if this is pipe or conduit. No, just a random piece of pipe down here. Let's see if it's actually hooked up to anything down this way. So there was a old well. And it's, where does this go? This keeps going. Is that the end? No, look at this. This looks like it's been set up for irrigation. Where does this go to? Alright, see, we're on an adventure. We're already finding something new. I'm gonna have to trace this out. Does it go to the pond? Because there is an old well, a disused well, kind of in this grotto here, the 25-yard grotto. So here the foliage really starts to change and it gets all marshy in here, because here's one of the creeks. So it's like sort of the flat area. You're not going to be able to run and do stuff. This will be real nice in the spring. It's nice and quiet up over the hills. There's a nice spot back there on the corner of the property, that on the southwest corner. There's fencing, but the neighbor's property is clear and open, and it's a beautiful view to the mountain. So that'd be a great place for like a picnic table, or like a little looks like more deer dropping. I'm just looking for sign of anything larger down here in this area. The creeks, animals kind of come through here. There's a couple deer paths. The other side of this little hill is about 25 yards where those rocks are. 25 yards, and here's the old well. I don't know why this is disused, but I'll have to give a tour of the rest of it another day. You know, as far as making videos, I want to make videos for stuff I've been doing, but I don't think you want to see me putting up blinds, but maybe I'm wrong. So I'll keep doing that. Maybe I'll keep posting some pew pew videos. Try not to use the banned words. I meant to say before, I don't consider this hat the most fashionable, but it's warm and it's got a face cover. Not that you need to be fashionable with this face. Yeah, a bunch of other stuff going on. So I'm gonna make videos. If you guys like them, you like them. If not, okay. We out here. So we call it Thousand Hills Ranch because that verse, God owns cattle on 1,000 hills, and he certainly hooked this place up. Although maybe my lines got crossed and I wasn't exactly sure what I was getting. But the fact that going from a couple years ago, living in an apartment in a very crowded place, to living in the state I've wanted to live in for pretty much my entire adult life, and actually owning a house, which I thought could never happen, and then owning 10 acres on top of that in my favorite state, I can't complain. So don't get me wrong. It's heavy, and there's things that are burdensome. So I have a feeling this is not going to be our long-term home. But hey, if anything happens, I'm glad to have some land. And at least now, you know, it's equity. So is what it is. So thanks for watching. Please like, favorite, subscribe, all that good stuff. May God bless you, and we'll see you in the next one. All right, well, here's the tip of the iceberg. If anybody wants a bucket, I know a guy who's got some buckets for you. Just random scraps, a pan, some hose. But just wait a minute. Maybe now you'll be able to tell where some of my frustration comes from. Let's just look at how much more stuff is under here. Like buckets, 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 tarps. I don't know if you can see all the way behind that tarp. Buckets, tarps, buckets. Like, I don't want to crawl up under this thing. But let's get it out. Let's see how much I can get out right now. But just so you know, I'm not upset or tired for no reason at all. It's because everywhere I look, it's just stuff like this. And I know, it's my fault. I bought the place. I get it. But now that it's mine, it is what it is. So a couple more buckets. And then what appears to be an electric fence system. Who knows if it works? I'm not going to hook it up and test it. But I mean, maybe it's good. You know, it's like that hoarder mindset starts to sink in. I'm like, maybe I could keep it. I could use it. You know, if we get animals in there. Hey, maybe. But how long is it? I don't know. It's like, might as well just buy one at that point. Yikes. I don't know. Trash for now. It's not going to go into the dumpster, and the trailer's fresh empty, so make that decision another day.